In Module 61, we will be discussing Professional Studies Program for Teachers. It focuses on what kind of the professional studies program should be provided to the teachers, and the program must have this type of the ingredients or the aspects for the successful transfer of the professional aspect to the teachers. Since 1990, there has been an intensive debate going on in teachers' college, teacher training institutions, or the Department of Education, or the institutes about how best rationalize the structures of the teacher training programs or the organizations and the content of the professional studies. What kind of the content should be there and how it should be organized, what should be the proportionate share of the each components, and which component should be given first and what component should be given top priorities and the least priorities, and what should be the matrix of the each component. As a result, most of the new courses in the teacher education or the teacher training programs are being classified as the components of the professional studies, and those are based on the theory and the practice, because the teacher professional courses or the professional studies or the teacher training programs are based on basically two components, theory and the practice. The idea of the professional studies are the, for example, B.Ed, ADE, this is professional studies. The program is basically, the main thrust of the program is the professional studies. It implies a partnership between the body of the theoretical and the practical skills. This means that any meaningful teaching has a theoretical base. We have to be firm that whatever is being taught and being learned and being practiced, there is theory behind that one. To be competent teachers, they need to have a command and subject knowledge, subject application, classroom management, and assessment and the recording of people's progress. What does the competence means? The competence means the understanding of the constructive model of the learning, where the learning plays a central role. Every action, every activity is based on the learning that is possessed or the acquired by the individual. The teacher acts not only as an operator, but also the knowledge pools, that he or she pools knowledge from various sources to facilitate learning and the teaching. The implication is that the untrained teachers lack a theoretical base of effective teaching or effective teaching. And the professional the significance of the professional learning program increases when, undergoing the training process, teachers are expected to study prescribed courses that are prescribed by the specific relevant body of the recognition of that courses, that will enable them to know the subject matter to teach, methodology of that teaching that is already prescribed, and how to evaluate the attainment of the prescribed objectives that is enshrined into the curriculum or the courses or the programs. The contents of the teacher training programs as reflected in the courses being offered by the colleges of education and the universities. The framework of the professional studies has different aspects. For example, there are different types of the knowledge in professional studies. Number one, propositional knowledge, which refers to understanding the job, its context, and its aim. And the other one is practical knowledge. It is ability to make practical judgment of what to do. And there are different types of skills in the professional studies. The skills refer to the organizational and curricular skills. Those include managing and controlling classes, motivating the children, organizing groups and individual learning, using resources, testing children, marking registers, and keeping record, etc. And the curricular skills focuses on ways of developing learners' skills, the literacy, numeracy, and the communication in general. And there are different components of the professional studies, and which should cover a multiplicity of curriculum courses, which act as an introduction of the basic contents of a range of the subjects, as well as giving insight into how to teach them. Masalan, for example, content, list of the contents and the list of the pedagogical courses. The structure of the curriculum courses should comprise of the interrelated elements of the conceptual, factual content and the methodological aspects. The conceptual aspect would emphasize fundamental ideas and principles as it would focus on rationale of the teaching the aspects that is under consideration. The content to be covered during the professional courses is to be selected to illustrate some of the salient features of that discipline. And the methodological elements which are required for that professional course that would concentrate on the procedural skills of that discipline and that are to be allied with the practical knowledge of how to teach that course. And the interrelatedness of the component that need to be tally or which tallies with the view of marrying theory and the practice in the professional studies. And there are different features of the effective professional studies. For example, this professional course would be the would focus on the content areas. The focus is of the content. For example, we need mathematics teachers. This professional courses would be only focused on the enrichment or improving the content area of the teachers. Other one would be the other one could be the active learning. That feature of other aspect is the active learning, and that can take the number of the form, including observing expert teachers. That is possible. For example, the junior teacher should observe the senior teacher, or by following the interactive feedback from the colleagues from the different seniors or the students or the peer groups, and the reviewing student work or the leading discussions. And the coherence, that is consistency with other learning experiences and with the schools or the districts and the state or the policy or the state policy. And the sufficient duration, and that means both the total number of the hours and the spend of the time over which the hours they are taking place. And the collective participation, the participation of teachers from the same school's grade or the department. And on the basis of this discussion, we can conclude that the way professional study is viewed may be influenced by one's orientation of the teacher education. If I have my own point of view of how the teacher should be trained, the other teacher or the other teacher educators has other view. The orientations give direction to the practical activities of the teacher education program, such as program planning, course development, instruction, supervision, and evaluation.